It seriously is driving me crazy.
I want to play you the first of these South Park clips.
And his wife. We want privacy! We want privacy! I've written all about it in your new book, Where?
I think the whole, worldwide privacy tour is hysterical. People who want privacy don't do that.
Oh, okay.
It's exactly what they were making fun of him for.
Yeah, they nailed it.
Well, you know what's going on. Someone wanted a lot of attention, and now they got it. That was the whole episode.
That was the ep.
Yeah.
That was the premise.
Is that what it was? Like, we want privacy, and they keep going on every magazine.
Yeah. We're on our privacy tour.
Yeah.
So you hate journalists. That's right. And now you wrote a book that reports on the lives of the royal family. Right. So you're a journalist. We just want to be normal people. All this attention is so hard.
Harry and Meghan wanted to sue the creators of South Park.
What'd they do?
They went at Harry and Meghan.
She's suing
And they're
them.
trying to sue him. It's like, don't
What are you?
fucking
You're suing South Park?
kick that hornet's nest.
Oh yeah, is this you? Sorority girl, actress, influencer, victim. You must be the royal prince, millionaire, world traveler, victim. That's right.
All right. Now, according to reports, Meghan Markle was, quote, upset and overwhelmed by her portrayal in a cartoon. But anyway, the show's creators were seemingly unfazed by reports of a possible lawsuit.
It's incredible hypocrisy. And I think, though, that victim label allows them seemingly to pull at the heartstrings of people. And it's a smokescreen. It's a smokescreen from what's really going on.
I don't believe a word either of them say about anything. And what's really interesting to me is following that South Park mockery of them, which really highlighted all their hypocrisies. Their approval ratings now have fallen below Prince Andrew's in America.
Oh, God damn it, now the prince is playing polo on the lawn. Can you two keep it down?
Hey, you ever heard of a thing called privacy?
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. Will you two just shut up and go away?
The Duchess of Sussex was distinctly unhappy about Matt Stone and Trey Parker's depiction of the couple. The Spectator had claimed she was upset and overwhelmed by the show and annoyed by South Park, but refuses to watch it all, despite it being unclear who its source was.
Isn't it true, sir, that your questionable wife has her own TV show and hangs out with celebrities and does fashion magazines? What are you suggesting? Well, I just think some people might say that your Instagram-loving wife actually doesn't want her privacy.
I'm sick of hearing about them. We just kind of don't care about some dumb prince and his stupid wife.
Forget your crowns and get those corgis ready, because today we're roasting Meghan like never before. Merch first, manners later. It's all about cashing in and Prince spare change. Harry is getting hit with comedy hotter than a California wildfire. If you thought their South Park caricatures were brutal, just wait until you hear the unfiltered, turbocharged, and extra salty version the Palace PR team hoped you'd never see. Settle in. The cringe buffet is officially open.
If it's truly what we want, then we really can get away from it all. No more magazines and Netflix shows. We really can live a normal life.
Remember when Harry and Meghan sat down for that big Oprah confessional, swearing up and down that all they wanted was a normal life out of the spotlight? Well, that promise aged about as well as milk left out in the sun. The very next week, they were signing megabuck deals with Netflix, Spotify, Penguin Random House, and anyone else flashing a check bigger than Harry's old royal trust fund.
All you had to do was go and live your life and nobody would care. Instead, you decided that you were going to go and sign a deal with Spotify and a deal with Netflix and that you were going to be a famous person and that you're, again, the very notion that Meghan Markle married into the royal family because she was seeking a private life with the man she loved is absurd.
They might be the only people on the planet who complain about being chased by cameras while literally hiring their own videographer to film them complaining about the cameras. Every time Meghan drops the privacy word, you can bet a publicist somewhere gets another gray hair and a drone pilot gears up outside their Montecito mansion. Privacy? For these two, it's like a piñata stuffed with dollar bills. They smash it open in public and then cash in on whatever spills out.
The Princess of Privacy is actually desperate for publicity, to be noticed, to matter in a way she never did while Suitcase Girl number 24 or while acting on the cable show Suits. Miss I Just Want My Privacy now has a podcast, a Netflix show about her in production, a bio coming out by her spouse that's about to hit the shelves. She gave a lengthy interview to The Cut of New York Magazine just the other week, worked with the authors of that book, as I just mentioned, and just today was on the cover of Variety.
Now, grab your popcorn because the tea is still boiling. Just picture this. Spotify threw more than $20 million at the Sussexes to create groundbreaking audio content that was supposed to uplift voices everywhere. So what did the world actually get? One Christmas special with Archie mumbling into the mic, a few of Meghan's syrupy archetypes episodes, and way more tumbleweeds than actual content. Talk about a cash for crickets deal.
Well, I think archetypes, so Meghan's podcast on Spotify, is kind of a dumpster fire and a gigantic flop.
Inspired by mutts.
Throws flowers.
That's literally it. Somewhere in Stockholm, there's probably a Spotify accountant ugly crying into a spreadsheet labeled "Write-offs we regret." Meghan pitched her podcast as a deep dive into the labels holding women back, but somehow every episode turned into A-list therapy sessions where the Duchess just took endless swings at her royal piñata of grievances. It only took about 15 minutes before listeners were drowning in, "You won't believe how hard castle life was."
We immediately went into the trenches together.
Yeah. But she said she was in the trenches. She alludes to being in the trenches when she was in the British royal family. Girl, you lived in a castle. Like, you got a princess title. People were falling at your feet. People would run your bathwater for you. I mean, I could list the things, the perks. I could list them forever. The trenches. She has got to. The Delulu is on another level. Sometimes I envy it.
Even Meghan and Harry's most loyal fans started checking their pulses after that. And Harry's big contribution? Just a cameo that was shorter than his time in Afghanistan, tossing out feel-good platitudes like, "People just need to listen to each other," with all the energy of a half-asleep yoga instructor. But wait, there's more. The media circus they claim to hate? They brought the elephants, the clowns, and even the popcorn machine themselves. It's like a barista whining that caffeine is addictive. Sorry, sweetheart, you knew exactly what you were brewing. And Harry? He's become the walking definition of that friend who says, "I hate drama," yet somehow creates every ounce of it. The only thing shrinking faster than his hairline these days is his credibility.
I would love reconciliation with my family. I don't know how much longer my father has. He won't speak to me because of this security stuff.
Like, guys, you don't got to do this. Please, I'm begging you to stop. You just can't keep faking it.
But it would be nice to reconcile. If they don't want that, that's entirely up to them.
Harry's digging an even bigger hole for himself here.
Well, I think he's dug so deep now, he'll strike water any day now.
When Spotify finally slammed the door shut, Meghan's camp blamed it on creative differences. Translation? The streaming giant figured out that most people would rather marathon whale noises than sit through another holier-than-thou rant about colonial negativity, especially from someone who tried to trademark the TIG like she personally invented wine. But buckle up, because Netflix was next in line for a royal reality check. If you actually managed to survive 6 hours of the Sussexes' Netflix docu-sob fest, you honestly deserve a knighthood in emotional endurance. The series promised a raw, unfiltered peek behind palace walls, but what did viewers really get? A super glossy infomercial for Team Meghan, with B-roll so airbrushed you could barely tell reality from fantasy. They even staged reenactments of paparazzi chases using stock footage. Get this, from a Harry Potter movie premiere. No joke, some eagle-eyed viewer actually paused the frame and spotted Hermione in the background. That's right, while Meghan and Harry complained about being hounded by cameras, the only real magic was how much they could airbrush the truth.
There's new backlash today following the release of the second trailer for Harry and Meghan's Netflix documentary. In it, Harry compares the paparazzi's obsession with Meghan to his late mother, Princess Diana.
I was terrified. I didn't want history to repeat itself.
But now, this photo claiming to show a threatening paparazzi is being called fake. Turns out that photo is actually from the London premiere of Harry Potter in 2011, 5 years before Harry ever met Meghan.
Now, let's get into Harry's memoir, living proof that therapy talk can be weaponized across 416 pages of relentless oversharing. He called his tell-all spare, probably because poor little rich prince wouldn't fit on the book cover. Harry tossed family secrets around like confetti at a pity parade, while Meghan hovered between the lines like a ghostwriter keeping tabs on potential lawsuit payouts. And the big climax? Harry sobbing that William once shoved him into a dog bowl. You can't make this stuff up.
Beaten up by his brother. It's the explosive claim made by Prince Harry in his new biography, Spare, and it's making waves across the globe today.
An extraordinary allegation from Prince Harry.
It's alleged that Prince William physically attacked his brother Prince Harry.
This is really stunning.
Harry says the brothers were brought to blows over Meghan after William called her difficult, rude, and abrasive. He grabbed me by the collar, ripping my necklace, and he knocked me to the floor in the kitchen at Nottingham Cottage on the grounds of Kensington Palace. Harry says he fell on the dog's bowl, which cracked under my back, the pieces cutting into me. I lay there for a moment, dazed, then got to my feet and told him to get out.
Meanwhile, veterans missing limbs are scrolling TikTok for cat videos just to escape the secondhand cringe. And just when he thought the emotional monsoon was finally over, Harry revealed he even turned to an oracle, a psychic, to try and contact his late mom. Supposedly, Lady D's message from beyond was, "You're living the life I wanted for you. You seriously can't make this up."
Also in the book, he details a conversation he had with his mother's friend and psychic Sally Morgan, where he asked about his mother's death. He wrote in the book that she told him, quote, "You're living the life she couldn't. You're living the life she wanted for you."
Sure, Harry. Next you'll have Diana sending Netflix pitch notes from the great beyond. But let's be real. The book isn't just a marathon of self-pity. It's a tactical nuke aimed straight at the monarchy that's still footing the bill for the Sussex's security. Imagine quitting your job, roasting your boss on LinkedIn, and then calling HR for a glowing reference. That's the Harold the Hero we're dealing with. And don't go anywhere, because Meghan's lawsuit hobby makes House of the Dragon look like child's play. Even before she landed in Windsor, Meghan was busy side-hustling legal threats at tabloids like Oprah handing out free cars. She even scored a symbolic £1 victory against the Mail on Sunday after they published her dramatic letter to Daddy Markle.
Meghan Markle has won the latest round of her lawsuit against Associated Newspapers, the publishers of Mail Online and the Mail on Sunday, about a series of published articles which detailed a private letter written by the Duchess of Sussex to her estranged father, Thomas Markle.
Translation: Meghan wants the headlines without any of the backlash. Every time a gossip tabloid so much as sneezes, her lawyers fire off a cease and desist faster than Harry can whine about press intrusion on his podcast. Paparazzi drone overhead? Sue. Paparazzi caught your foot? Sue. Cartoon making fun of her hypocrisy? Threaten to sue, deny it, and then have anonymous friends leak lawsuit rumors to the press anyway? It's a full-time job keeping her image drama-free, even if it means drama-free, even if it means drowning in paperwork.
Now, but I now see many reports claiming that Harry and Meghan have been stung so badly that they've got lawyers looking through this, hoping to sue. Look, frankly, I don't know if I can believe those reports at all. I've seen no hard evidence that this is the case. And for one reason I don't believe it, of course, is that it would make it even worse for them, wouldn't it, if they did sue?
She swings privacy laws around like a Marvel superhero with Mjolnir, except Thor actually saves people, while Meghan just racks up settlements to fund her artisanal chicken coops. And let's not forget Harry. He's busy waging all-out war against half the British press, crying actual malice because a few editors nicknamed him Thicko. Come on, man. Everyone's got that uncle at the family BBQ who calls them worse, so maybe tone it down. But here's the real kicker. For two people who claim to be allergic to scrutiny, they sure seem to be allergic to scrutiny. They sure seem to love the courtroom spotlight. Enter Trey Parker and Matt Stone, the Colorado comedy legends behind South Park, armed with nothing but construction paper and absolutely zero expletives to give. Their now legendary worldwide privacy tour episode painted Meghan as a bullhorn-blaring diva and Harry as her henpecked ginger sidekick. The punchline? The royal rejects chant, "We want privacy," all while hopping onto every talk show that'll book them. The irony writes itself.
You've lived a life with the royal family, you've had everything handed to you, but you say your life has been hard, and now you've written all about it in your new book, Where?
South Park has done a parody of this, and apparently it has really upset Meghan Markle. She's apparently spent days being upset and overwhelmed, according to Sir.
That episode was comedy gold so pure, it deserves to be locked away in Fort Knox. The internet absolutely exploded. Hashtags like Meghan cried and Sparrow spread faster than Harry getting teary-eyed on 60 Minutes. Suddenly, rumors started swirling that Meghan called in her lawyers to try and nuke the South Park episode. Her spokesperson denied it, but then again, she's also denied using a surrogate, denied bullying her staff, and denied ever editing her own Wikipedia page. We're in full-on denial inception here, where the only constant is that Meghan never met a PR spin she couldn't outdance. The real beauty of parody laws? The First Amendment shields South Park like an ancient medieval castle, making Meghan's legal threats about as effective as tossing cotton balls at a tank. And don't forget the Streisand effect. Just thinking about banning the episode made sure every clip bounced around TikTok, ricocheting harder than Prince Andrew dodging subpoenas. Congratulations, Duchess, you managed to turn a 22-minute cartoon into a full-blown cultural referendum on your entire brand. And while we're on the topic of brands, let's talk about Archwell, the charity that seems to spend more on branded merch than on actual meals for people in need.
Now let's talk a little Harry and Meghan. Their Archwell Foundation has been declared delinquent by the state of California, meaning it is not in good standing as a charity and not permitted to engage in activities like raising and spending money, pretty much all you would expect a charitable fund to do. It is understood that the Archwell Foundation did not pay the necessary fees correctly and was unaware of the issue until the delinquency notice was issued.
Archwell Foundation promised compassion in action, but if you peek at their IRS filings, it reads more like a used car lot ledger, high-gloss marketing, flashy events, and overhead costs out the wazoo. Analysts found out Archwell once spent more on PR consultants than on actual direct grants. Imagine running a soup kitchen where you blow more on Instagram filters than you do on utensils. Bon appetit, peasants. Meghan loves to show up at glamorous panels about female empowerment in a 4,000 power suit, nodding wisely while quoting Rupi Kaur about self-love. Meanwhile, real grassroots heroes are grinding away in the trenches, making a difference for pennies. And let's not forget Harry, zooming into climate change conferences from the comfort of a private jet layover, lecturing everyone about their carbon footprints. The hypocrisy here is so thick, you could butter your scones with it.
The hypocrisy is beyond anything I've ever seen.
He's a duplicitous, self-centered, vile, disloyal hypocrite.
The entitlement, the virtue signaling, the hypocrisy, all of it is encapsulated in these two.
And when donors dare to ask for actual impact metrics, Archwell responds with feel-good vibe reports like, "We fostered community healing." Translation, they hosted a meditation, Zoom, lit a few ethically sourced candles, and called it a day planet saved. At this rate, Greta Thunberg is facepalming so hard, she's time-traveling into another era. But wait, the Sussexes aren't stopping there. They've got a top-secret master plan called Rebrand for Relevance. Let's break it down. Since ditching royal duty, Meghan and Harry have cycled through more brand identities than Elon Musk has Twitter logos. First, they were global humanitarians, then free speech martyrs, then podcasting archetypes, Netflix visionaries, mental health crusaders, climate warriors, and now, drumroll please, just humble parents looking for a quiet life, brought to you by BetterHelp. Each new role lasts exactly as long as it takes for the public to start yawning. The second people lose interest, they throw a new identity at the wall like spaghetti, hoping desperately that this one finally sticks.
It's delusional. It's totally delusional.
You know, they create all these problems like narcissists do, and then they blame everybody else.
For royals who don't want to be royals, they couldn't be more royally.
Just whining millennial windbags with a permanent victim complex, knowing that victimhood is what makes them all the money.
Disaster opportunists, which is exactly right.
Their entire PR strategy looks like a toddler's Etch-a-Sketch, shake it wildly whenever critics show up, scribble some happier lines, and then do it all over again. That's why one week, Meghan is giving a keynote on resilience, and the next, she's reportedly shopping around Hollywood for a comeback as the new Julia Roberts, a comparison that probably sent Julia running straight to her lawyer. Meanwhile, Harry is pitching a polo docuseries nobody actually asked for because nothing says relatable, like a hobby for the ultra-wealthy. If relevance were gasoline, the Sussex engine burns through it faster than their Land Rover on a royal road trip. And when that tank runs dry, don't worry, they'll just leak another juicy family feud tidbit. William once stole my hair gel, and suddenly the tabloids are in meltdown mode. For two people who claim to be allergic to drama, they sure seem to mainline it like junkies chasing that first high. So where's this royal telenovela headed next? Buckle up, the final verdict is coming. Ladies and gentlemen, the closing arguments for this royal trial are officially in. On one side, we have the Sussexes, self-crowned champions of compassion, torchbearers for truth, and professional palm readers for every injustice that trends on Twitter. On the other side, we have reality, a scoreboard flashing, fizzled projects, billionaire pity parties, and a never-ending supply of brand new synonyms for hypocrisy. You, the internet jury, have binge-watched every cringeworthy spectacle and still can't decide whether to laugh, cry, or just demand your time back. The prosecution's evidence? Exhibits A through Z, the Spotify ghost town, the Netflix yawn-a-thon, lawsuit rampages, preaching eco-virtue from the comfort of a private jet, weaponizing privacy while live blogging every diary entry. And what's the defense? A steady supply of teary butt feelings paired with a moral high ground bought on layaway. Sorry, but this isn't exactly a shocking Perry Mason plot twist. So, here's the sentence: perpetual irrelevance until proven genuine. Meghan and Harry can only redeem themselves by doing something truly radical, like keeping quiet and actually helping people without broadcasting every move on a 4K drone. But let's be honest, don't hold your breath. The click machine must stay fed, and their appetites for attention rival any Vegas buffet. There's just one act left, the royal roast outro you won't soon forget. To the Sussex squad, unclench those Twitter fingers for a second. I'm just the messenger here, delivering jokes that your idols practically gift wrap with every contradictory stunt. If Meghan didn't trademark her tears and Harry didn't cash in on his trauma, there'd be nothing left to riff on. But they did. So here we are, passing popcorn around while the palace walls echo with the cosmic laugh track of irony. To Harry, the world fell in love with the cheeky soldier prince, not the podcast poet laureate of first world angst. To Meghan, Hollywood already has a billion influencers selling victimhood chic. Maybe try authenticity for a change. Trust me, it's actually revolutionary. And to the rest of us, let's not forget that privacy is priceless. Unless, of course, you sell it in a 10-episode bundle, then complain Netflix didn't respect your boundaries. Service should be universal, unless you trademark compassion and invoice sponsors for the rights. Above all, let's keep laughing. Satire is the vaccine against all this self-serious melodrama, so smash that subscribe button, obliterate the notification bell, and send this video to every friend who's just as tired of the royal rinse and repeat cycle as you are. Thanks for watching.